frustrated with aspects of the performance despite the win on Saturday. So when does that initial kind of sort of emotion wear off, and when do you sort of reflect on games a bit more calmly, or is that not really in your nature?
I think you're always striving for perfection. But considering how we've only just got this group together and how young they are, I was delighted with the performance, watching it back. But the last 20 minutes was not what I wanted us to do. I do not want to try and protect. I felt I had to in the end, because the attitude was to back off and not step forward. So these young men will have to learn this. And the people in midfield stepped off of their midfield, let them dictate, because we had it's a very, very common thing in football. You have something to protect what you normally do. You get further away from the ball, you go closer to your own goal because you think you're protecting it. That's not what I want. I always want to score the next goal. And that made me feel terrible on the line. And then when we made some subs, all the other ones are looking over. Instead of knowing their jobs don't change, the people who come on, their jobs has changed with the one who's gone off. So that shouldn't matter. And then that's the point, that who manages the Saturday? I help them at half time and in the second half if I need to make changes, and they do all of it from the kick-off to the end. My staff shouldn't have to help them. We remind them beforehand, we do it throughout the week, they should remember that, and they've got to boss it out there. So we can't go out there, so stop looking over. And the quicker I can get that into them, the better it is. And that's the only thing that upset me. I didn't feel like we were going to win that game. It was, I was relieved to have won it, instead of feeling like, wait a minute. After we went one behind, I felt fine, because my team was still doing everything that I wanted them to do to get in front. And that only stopped after we scored the third goal. Right? But in hindsight, I'm looking back at their manager, seeing the changes he made, and well done to him. He had a go to try and make a difference. And the ones he put on didn't they? You know? So it's all about reflection, but I will always show the true me. I can't change. I don't want to change. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. You know, so my fans will always see exactly how I feel, and I will tell them exactly how I feel about things. And I think that's my job, to tell the press exactly how I feel. So I do.
Is that one of the biggest challenges for the lone players and the young players, to figure out the sort of in-game management bit? Is that their, I would say, the biggest learning curve? I don't know.
No, they got to learn the games that matter. They got to learn that when you're one down, it actually truly matters. Not in the academies, it don't, does it? So if that's where they've played, they got a rude awakening. Every single second of every single match counts, and they're not used to that. So, and everything they do has to be at a level, and they shouldn't be questioning themselves, am I good enough? Can I do this? But everybody does it, you know, and last year we let a young man suffer a bit by not surrounding him and helping him and talking to him and picking him up when he was down. We didn't do that as a group, and I didn't like it, so I'm not allowing that to happen this year. And I made sure everybody knew that after the game.
Do you still need more experienced voices? Would you like a senior player in almost any position, or are you kind of happy with how?
Well, I've got that, really, haven't I? If everybody stays fit, I've definitely got that. And you know, with the ability that I've got with Harry to throw him back in and win headers, the minute he was back there, we weren't going to let one in, were we? You could tell. And he looked quite shocked. I went, no, you go and stay there. If we're going to stay that deep, you go and stay there. And I had, who did I have at the back? Will Wright. I think Glatz ended up there, but Will Wright, Big Phil, Harry, and Tom Wilson Brown, all the best, trying to beat them in the air, innit? So I felt quite comfortable, and Connor's hands, you know. But it was nice getting the whistle to blow at the end, and I thought we should have won a bit easier. That's all. But they will learn. The team will learn. The team has to learn. We have to gain confidence, and getting a win. Losing to 10 men wasn't good. Do you get what I mean? It's never good. Letting a goal in against 10 men is not good for your confidence as a group. So we've got over that. You know, we have got over that. So.
How do you approach this tie? Is there sort of concerns about giving people minutes, and how do you know, because this tournament does often see a bit of rotation.
Yeah, you will see rotation because of how early it is in the season, and if you play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, you're likely to get injured at the intensity of the level of matches. Our pre-season, we played people who were lower than us, so we had a lot of the ball, and now we're playing higher than us, and we might have to be better as a unit, so this is another big test. But I will look at who needs a game, what sort of side that will turn into, and then which experienced ones can I slot in to make sure that their bodies can cope with it, and also we've got the right senior players in the team to have enough belief to control the inexperienced ones and give me a balance of attacking and defending. So that's what you're always looking for as a manager, really. It's less minutes these days, but it's all about balance. And I'll be working back from who I'm going to play on Saturday, unless anyone's completely outstanding on Tuesday. That's what I'll be looking to do. But I might play some of the ones who are going to play Saturday in amongst this to make sure that we're thick enough and strong enough to get a really good result.
How important is Cup success for you? Because one game with Man City apart in the FA Cup, this is a club that has had more bad recent Cup experiences than good ones.
Yeah, Cup competitions, ask Crystal Palace about it. I mean, they're on cloud nine, aren't they now? They just beat Liverpool in penalties yesterday, and it was a wonderful game to watch. So, yeah, things are important, you know. Getting good results are important, but you've got to be ready to, you've got to earn the right to do that. And as I say, yes, the second time that teams played together, we've already won once, which is good, and we shouldn't have lost the first time. So, you know, and the way I'm looking at things, I've got these first 19 games and the Cup games, these first 19 games to actually, can we start better than we did last year? You know, considerably better. That's what I want to do, but that's the challenge. That's where I'm looking at. That's what I'm talking about. And watching Cardiff, I've looked at our game again. I've looked at what Cardiff do. I've looked at their shape and their structure. They look very good. They look really good side. So how many of them he's going to play again, I don't know. But what was good, I watched the Port Vale game, and so I know how good Port Vale are, and I know how well organised they are, and I know what Cardiff did to them throughout the game. So I got to come up with a plan, pick the team, and have one day to rehearse it. So I'm hoping it'll go well. It's not imperative that it does, but it's really important that we can build and people play well, and we work together as a group, and we get that understanding and learning going, you know. So really looking forward to it, and it's nice we haven't got much training to do today. We'll flick over the things that went right, tick the others through, sit some of them on the bench, and pop off to Cardiff. It's not that long a journey either, is it? So look forward to it. We haven't played them for years, have we?
Long time, I think it's been like 20 years or so.
Yeah.
You sort of touched on Cardiff there. Are these games always difficult to play for because of that? You're never quite certain who's going to play for them, although I was looking, they've got a couple of 18 and 19-year-olds in their starting lineup already.
I don't know how he's looking at it, but it'll be very similar to me. He's got his new squad together. They would be disappointed last year getting relegated, so you know it's a whole new start for him in a lower division, and he's now taking on a team that are lower than that again. So he might be able to rest a few more, not use so many of the ones who played on Saturday. I don't know what his approach is going to be, but you know it's going to be a wonderful pitch, a wonderful opportunity for our lads to go and play at their stadium and show me they want to be in the team on a regular basis. So I'm really looking forward to it, I have to say.
How are you looking injury-wise? Any concerns from Saturday of people coming through?
More or less so unscathed, to be honest. I just got to look at Harry last week. He missed a few days, so what do I do with him? I'll have a word with him in a minute and see where he is. But, you know, he might not start, but I might give him some minutes. You know, I think I did that last year with him a little bit later on against, was it Birmingham? When we lost in that other cup. I think I started him sub and then I put him on. So I'll have a look at that. But none of that's really important. I'll have a look in a minute, see where we are. And I'm just very pleased we got 3 points on the board, you know. Looks a lot better than 0, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And just in terms of transfers, how are you doing in terms of sort of outgoings? Have you had any offers or any kind of further interest in players?
Nothing on that front.
All quiet. Good luck.
We got,
Sorry.
yeah. No. We've, it's gone a bit quiet, but there we go.
You mentioned in terms of pre-season, obviously you're playing mostly teams below, but also Reading. How different is the preparation when you are playing a team like Cardiff will be towards the top of League One?
It's very different because your team has to be coordinated without the ball. When you're playing a team that lets you have the ball more, it's more about when you lose it, can you regain it within 6 seconds? So that's with the formation that you've got around it. You close and you press, you give them a lot of that to do. This is now we give them the ball, we drop off, we show their patterns, which my staff do, and then we show them where they need to be. And what's good for me is Port Vale's shape against how they were trying to play out didn't really do very well. And Port Vale are really good at it. So I know how good Cardiff are at that. So, you know, I'll have to look at that. Are my lot going to be as well rehearsed as Port Vale? Obviously not at doing that. So I might have to do something different. But maybe we block them, playing out, try and block them so they got to go long. Or maybe I drop right off. Or maybe we try what Port Vale did and learn from what Port Vale got wrong. So maybe be a little bit more aggressive, but it's all down to what you do. The best I've ever seen was Newcastle last year against Arsenal, where Eddie worked out that if he let one of his centre-halves go right up to their edge of their box, they'll still try and play and we'll win it up there, and that's what he did. So absolute stroke of genius, but I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that against Cardiff at Cardiff, you know, but seriously, how they play out is very good to watch. So well done to their manager. I haven't seen it done like that before in all my years. So see if I can come up with something to stop that and give them the impetus of, oh, we're getting out easy and gaining confidence. So, but we'll see. I need the right people in the right places to actually help whoever else is out there, you know. And then when we get it, go and hurt them.
Billy Bowden on the bench at the weekend, how close is he to full fitness at the moment?
He played 60 minutes against Forest Green on Tuesday, and that makes him ready for probably 30 on a Saturday if I wanted to use him. So if he gets some more against Cardiff in this cup competition, that'll make him even closer to being there. But I had to be patient for a couple of weeks with Bill before thinking of starting him, because he missed the first 2 weeks of pre-season with an injection in his knee. So we're catching him up as we speak.
Ryan Delaney and Joel McGregor are the only two players you haven't seen in the squad yet. So how are they looking? Are they likely to be involved?
They could be. Depends how I'm looking at it. You know, Joel is just fitness. Ryan, he's on the list. And he should be playing for someone else if someone else wants him. And I've told him that. So, but I still, when the window shuts, if he's still here, then I'll rethink and look at it all. But I've tried to be honest.